tax payments on property that the two of them apparently have interests in. Now, the man filed a document with the court telling the court that the court had the power to let the parties resolve the disputes on the field of battle, and that resolution would be legal. The man added in his filing that he filed with the court that trial by combat has never been explicitly banned or restricted as a right in these United States. You know, that's an interesting thing. I'm not sure that you ever had that right. That's the bigger question. There's all kinds of things that have not been restricted. But, you know, I mean, is there actually a law saying I can't let a UFO park on the roof of my house? But, you know, it's another story altogether. The man said that apparently a lot of his beef was with the attorney for his wife. And he says, I think I've met his absurdity with my own absurdity. Adding that his former wife could, if she wanted, let her attorney act as her champion. And a champion, like I said, is the person that gets to stand in for you and do the battle if it's trial by combat. So he's basically saying, look, I want to take a sword out in the field, and my ex-wife can have a sword, and either she can fight me with swords or her attorney can. The wife subsequently asked the judge to suspend the man's visitation rights and ordered him to undergo an evaluation, which the judge did both of. He suspended the visitation rights and he ordered the man to undergo an evaluation. So the man actually moved his case backwards. Okay, you're trying to move the ball this way, and suddenly you find yourself losing yardage, to use a football expression. The judge said in the ruling, this conduct is concerning. The content of the messages sent through email by the husband, or the ex-husband, over the past few months is disturbing. His motion for trial by combat is disturbing. His reasons for filing the motion in order to get publicity is disturbing. And, you know, this is one of those things, I don't talk a lot about family law on this channel. I talked about that crazy divorce case out of Oakland County, where they've gone through like 11 attorneys, and hundreds of docket entries, and so many different judges up on appeal, and everyone hates everybody, and people who are removed, who step back and just look at it, don't know any of the parties, don't know the judge, they just literally just look at the mess that's happening. They look at it and they go, you know, there's adults in there. There are adults in there. There's children in there too, unfortunately. There's adults in there who aren't acting like adults. And we've all met those people who hate their exes. Just bitterly hate their exes. And you're allowed to have emotions. You're allowed, and no law against that. That's one thing the law is not outlawed yet, is your emotions. But when you go into court and you're trying to resolve something, okay, the courts are there to try to, they're going to try to help you resolve something, whether it's a visitation issue or a property issue or the taxes on the property, whatever. And when the court sees people acting in a non-adult fashion, whatever that may be, crazy, childish, whatever, it doesn't help. And one of the adages I had never heard before I went to law school, and it didn't really become clear to me until after I graduated from law school and became a lawyer and had been involved in many settlement situations. And I admit, I don't do a lot of family law. By that I mean I do zero. I avoid it like the plague for this reason. Don't get me wrong. If someone challenged me to trial by combat, I'd consider it. But I think it's illegal, unfortunately. But I'm joking. The point is that when two parties are suing each other, they disagree over something. And let's take it in the concept of my cases. My client bought a defective car. The manufacturer sold them a defective car, in essence. The law says that the manufacturer must make this person whole, either buy back that car or compensate them for the trouble they've been through, or trade them into a non-defective car. As you can imagine, a lot of consumers who've been put through that situation and are forced to go to court and file a lawsuit, spend months litigating a case they think that there should be a clear slam dunk ruling on, they're upset by that. Why do we have to go through all this hassle? Many of them are very wound up and very upset by that. And we go to court, and we encounter an attorney, oftentimes from a corporation, who comes into court and goes, well, my client doesn't see what your client's all upset about. And, here's what we'll pay. My client wants this. They want this. They want to pay this. Client wants this. You'll see there's a difference there. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a difference there. The difference is this, okay? That difference is the gap that we must bridge to get these two parties together. What's it going to take to get you guys together? And it usually involves both sides giving up a little, okay? It's possible sometimes where one side can say, screw you, we're digging in our heels right here, you pay us $1 on the dollar, or we'll see you in court. Now, I've once in a while seen that work as a concept to settle a case, where somebody goes, I'm digging in my heels right here, this is what I want, the other side goes, fine, we'll pay it. But more often than not, when someone digs in their heels, the other side goes, fine, we'll go to court, we'll roll the dice. Jury could give you everything you want. The jury can give you zero. Or the jury can go out in left field and give us something that neither of us are anticipating. Juries do that. So, to get a settlement where both parties stand in front of the judge and go, Your Honor, we're ready to settle the case for this, it usually involves both sides giving up something. And that means, by definition, that neither side got what it wanted. Neither side is 100% happy. And I've had this discussion with many clients before. And I say, you understand, you wanted $1. They offered you 50 cents. Now, I'm not saying the case needs to settle for 75. But the point is that if they pay 75 and you take it, you'll be upset that you took a little less than you think you're entitled to. They're going to get upset because they think they paid more than they're entitled to. And that difference is something you have to live with unless you want to go in front of a jury and roll the dice. And I've tried enough cases. I can tell you, I've seen juries where the range is this, and it doesn't matter which way the spectrum goes. And the jury gave somewhere in here the same results as if we'd settled. But I've also seen it where the jury goes, no, we're over here. Completely screwing the other side. Or, jury's over here. Completely screwing the other side. It happens. We've all seen those cases in the news. So the idea that you're unhappy with the resolution that you got from a court, join the club. Everyone's unhappy. That's what happens. Unless you go to trial and rolling the dice, you're the lucky one where the jury came back in your favor in a crazy way. Because if they just gave you what you're entitled to, you still went through a big lot of hassle to get there. Time is actually got some value to it. But I'm not saying that you'll never get what you're entitled to if you go to court. But I'm just saying that, unfortunately, a lot of people think they can hold out and get everything they think they're entitled to when everyone around them is saying, look, this right here is a reasonable settlement. You should take this. Unless you want to gamble and try to get more later. Okay? It's not let's make a deal, but it's close. So this guy who's unhappy with what's happening, he says he's been destroyed legally, and he wants to go out in the field and kill the attorney and or his ex-wife. When he says that to the court goes, okay, now he's no longer in the realm of normalcy. He's actually gone into some kind of second dimension, which ain't right. So the man...
Okay. It's time to commence the meeting. So this is a mock test meeting of the Satellite Amateur Radio Club. Times are strange. So I've stepped up to try and figure out how to have meetings with the membership without any delay or setup. So hopefully, as time goes on, and I conduct more of these meetings, more of the board will join the meeting, or maybe I can invite some of the members, and we'll see how the test goes. This is a test. Now you have to understand, my display is over here. That's why I'm looking that way. I don't have the display and the camera on the same axis. The camera is here and the desktop is here. So let's start. Okay, so this is the Chirp homepage. This is the Chirp free software. It says open source tool for programming your amateur radio. It supports a large number of manufacturers and models. Okay, so if we go there, we notice that there's a get it. This is like the donation button. There's a Linux, Macintosh OS, and Windows choice. So I click on the Windows choice because I have a Windows machine, and the person who constructed the page doesn't have any buttons to click. You have to go down here, see Windows users, Mac users, and Ubuntu users. You have to click on this download the next Windows version. Hopefully this is coming across. So you click on this and download it, which I've already done. Downloaded and installed on this machine for my superbly inexpensive two-way UHF. How can I get this to, we need to, my radio. Okay, so let's get rid of that and move the camera very gingerly to the desktop. Okay, let's go over a little bit. So I have the Bafang, I believe that's the way it's pronounced, on the desktop, and please excuse the microphone is facing the wrong way. So with the, in addition to buying the radio, you can buy this programming cable. It has the USB to serial interface built into the cable, and it comes with a programming manual here. So if we take the cable out, like that, notice that it has quite a large USB end, and the end for it goes into the radio. It goes into the mic and headphone input, and you can see it's tip ring sleeve. It tells the radio to accept the USB. So I'm going to plug this into the computer. Give me a moment. I don't know if you heard it chime. So let me go full screen here. The other view here is my other computer maintaining connection with Zoom, so we don't get bumped off, because the Zoom has a tendency, this free version has a tendency to end the meeting unexpectedly. So here we go. We open up the side port. That's this guy right here, and we plug it in very firmly. Okay, some people don't push this in enough and it doesn't connect, so you have to rather firmly push it in. So we go to the software. Let's see, where is it? It's here. Chirp. There's the Chirp software. Let me move my. So I'm new to this, so I'm sort of learning as we go. Let's see what happens when I turn on the software. Turn on the radio, not the software. The software is running. Okay. And the radio didn't talk to me, so I figured that it knows that the USB dongle is plugged in. So let's download from the radio. And it's recognized the port, COM3, it's a Bafang, and it's a UV5R. Okay, we connect. It says yes, and gives a little instruction. It's downloading the memory from the radio. There. Okay, it cloned the radio memory. This is the location column. You see there's some slots that are empty. What I'm going to try to do is program. Let's see if we can get this to show up properly. Program. I took a note from people talking on the net about a new repeater, 445.94, with a tone of 131.8 and an offset of 5 megahertz. Okay, let's see if we can successfully put that into this memory scan and have the radio accept it when we upload the scan. So I click on here and I put in 445.94. Okay, and does the tab work? Okay. Tone is tone. We have, the software is very strange. It's 131. 131.8. Okay. Now, do we get to choose the offset? Yes. We get to choose minus. minus 5. Okay, did that work? Nine, 4, 131. It's minus. See right there? Okay. So that's what the note says. If I can get it to show up. 44.5, 45.94, 131.8 tone, and minus 5 megahertz. Okay. Now let's see if we have to, let's save this. There it is, right there, save. Now, can we upload this to the radio? Okay. Yes. Huh. Why did it put in another one? That's not good. The software is very peculiar. Okay, I don't know why. I think when I hit return, it put in another instance. Okay, the radio seems to be flickering, so maybe it took it. So how do we disconnect? Upload, import from data source, channel defaults. How about let's close. How's that? Okay. Now, let's turn the radio off. Okay. Unplug the adapter. It's very firm, which is good. Put this aside. Turn the radio back on. Okay, I'm going to have to do this upside down. So let's see if it works out. It's very difficult to do things upside down watching the screen.
3, 2, 1, 0, 2, 4.
Okay, there's one there at 2.4.
2, 3.
And there's another one. Okay, this is the one that works. So that we don't confuse the it does not want to. Huh.
2, 4.
2.4.
0.
Okay.
2, 4.
This is the one we want to delete. So there has to be a delete.
Menu.
Someone tell me what to do. Perhaps I'm doing the wrong thing. How do we go about deleting? Let's go back. Let's get rid of the menu.
Confirm.
So we're still on 24. So there has to be a way to delete. And we'll do that another time. How's that? So I made a mistake. Let's see if we can go back. Turn the radio off. Push the adapter in firmly. You heard it click. Turn the radio on. Okay. And it didn't talk to us, so it recognized the port. Download. Okay. Proceed. Yes. Okay. It's downloading the memory from the radio. There. So we go down. Let's see if I can select that one. Is there a delete? Yes, there is. Delete. There. Okay, it deleted number 24. So now we want to let's save it. Save. Overwrite. Yes. Now let's upload it to the radio. Okay. Yes. So it says cloning again. Again, the software is a little peculiar. What you may not see is that the LED here is flickering. I assume that's negotiation, and you saw the display flash. Okay, so let's close this. Close. Yes. And now go back to the radio. Turn it off. Yeah. Okay. And unplug this dongle. It's very firm. It's a little difficult. Yeah. There we go. Like that. Move this aside. Turn the radio back on.
Channel mode.
It's in the channel mode. And it defaults to 0. It goes from 0 up instead of 1. It doesn't start at 1. It starts at 0.
2, 3.
So you see, we got rid of 2, 4, which was a redundant value here. You can see on the display 2, 3, 44.94. Okay. So let's turn on scan, which is this button right here. Hold it down. It scans. And there's quite a bit of noise in here, so I have, 3 computers and a television running, and all these lights and so on, so there's going to be quite a bit of noise. So here we go. Let's get it to exit. find one of our channels that's so popular. If anyone wants to talk,
1 1
they'll be heard.
1 0 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0 2 3 2 2 2 1 2 0 1 9 1 8 1 7 1 6 1 5 1 4 1 3 1 2 1 1 1 0 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0.
Huh. So I don't have the popular repeater in there. Let's see what happens here when we...
Frequency mode. Channel mode. 2 3 0 1 2 3 4
There we go. That's
5 6 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 0 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4
okay. Let's go down
1 3 1 2 1 1 9 8 7 6 5
there. Let's go to that one. Yeah. Okay, so to forego any further confusion, let me put the camera back on its pedestal so you can see my gracious countenance. This is the end of this mock meeting of the Satellite Amateur Radio Club. So hopefully we can get more people to participate in this and further refine this process, which is cumbersome, expensive, and awkward. Given the circumstances we find ourselves, this seems to be a viable alternative to gathering in groups, which now has been made illegal by the state. So it's actually illegal to have meetings. Wow. Turn off the radio. Signing off.